All right. Cool stuff. Sweet. Welcome in, welcome in. Let's get this party started. All right, so anybody who comes into the chat, check it out. So up in the upper right here, we have the it looks great. Okay, cool. So up the upper right is something that I have made, and that is my ELD. So if you guys have any questions about that, let's go ahead and ask. I'll be here for a while. So we're just finishing up this quick little thing, and we're just testing stuff out. So hang out. Let's see what we can do. As you can see, the odometer updated. So we're gonna go ahead and start this. See, the TAC opens, comes up. We're already done with this. So this was just something we were kind of testing. If you notice, we do have some text issues here in the bottom, but we're pretty much done with this job. So let's swipe over. That should go into our log right here. And we do have a point update, so we're just going to go back up to here. Check these really quick. I am running my own also homebrew economy mods too. So we're going to go ahead and pick our next run, which is run Mamo. I think that's how you say that. So we're going to go ahead and hit request on our thing, which is number 1. So we're going to go in here, find the city we were in, which is down here. And number 1, so we're going to go to Grimsby, Great Britain, and this Actros here, which really isn't that far out of the way. And we're going to watch this work. So we got a long 600-kilometer distance on the ferry, but we haven't touched any of this map. So essentially, the whole point behind this was to make this as kind of grinded out as possible. So I did that. So that's cool. So I'm gonna hop in here and anyway, we're gonna accept this, and we're gonna go ahead and see this thing work. All right, so in this new Actros, got about 1,000 kilometers to go, but a lot of that is simply just ferry time. So let's get this thing cranked up. All right, so it looks like 1,088 kilometers, about 25 hours of time. And we can see over here, this is what we got. This is going to trip into driving status by itself, which is part of the cool stuff here. So make sure our brake is off. Let's just hit it. Bang on. Check that out. And this follows game time. So it's been one of the biggest things that ETS2 and ATS have an issue with is game time. Since it's not static, it doesn't stay at the same ratio. It does change. So this does take accelerated game time into effect as well. Absolutely what we're looking for. So it is accurate. So sit back and enjoy and ask any questions you guys have. So it says there's a light there. Where? Was there supposed to be a light here? Let's just keep this nice and... We're gonna go into 8.5 warp. That's the most realistic one. Excuse me. All right, so yeah, so EU rules, as far as I understand them, is 45 minutes of rest between at every 4.5 hour mark, and then 11 hours off, and like 55 hours a week or something like that, which definitely a lot less. 4, 6, 8. That's 14 hours less than America a week. It's insane, but honestly, if you look at the difference in speed limits and everything, it is a big difference, but I still have to compile this for the American version. I have not done that yet. It's on my list, but I've just spent the last, probably around 60 hours trying to get this where I want it. And let me adjust this real quick. And truthfully, I just don't want to sit here and screw with code anymore. It's been kind of a negative to me, I guess. There we go. Make sure my lights are on. So let me explain this mod. So I made this mod for economy based on the equivalent euro rate per dollar for freight rates. So, you know, but depending on dry van, reefer, whatever, I just did an average among all of them and pretty much changed the freight rates accordingly. So you have to grind it out, which is the whole point of having a quote-unquote simulator, is having to grind it out. Looks like we do not have a retarder on this. But this, if you look at our center screen here up on the upper right for the time, make sure we're not going to hit anybody. Swipe over 1. So it does have our odometer there of 848,865 kilometers. I'm a little disappointed this truck doesn't have a retarder, but I guess that guy's going to let me in. But anyway, no, I built it to be as realistic as possible. And you also have to do 30 trips before you can get a loan to make sure that, you know, just like in real life, unless you have a bunch of money, you can't just go out and buy a truck, right? So this kind of makes you stick to that. All right, is this automatic? I don't remember if this is the automatic lane or not. I haven't been up here in a minute. There we go. Yep, looks like it's just automatic tolling. Just like that pre-pass. There we go. 174 euro. Holy crap. So yeah, you have a 30 trip wait for bank loans. All of the freight rates are on average. I did update the average country fuel prices, which I have to do again at midnight tonight because those are every Sunday update. And I just have to compile this dashboard for American Truck Simulator, and it's done. Let's go ahead and just cruise and just have a good time. Get back off from this guy, a little close. Come on, man. And of course, every time you try and fly up to get around him, I drop just as fast as he did. There we go. .80 kilometers an hour here. Get over this bridge. It's good enough. I think I have enough room to get over again now, so not a problem. You know, I have expected that to sound like the Freightliner, because they are technically an offshoot of Mercedes-Benz. So, but no, I'm wrong. Don't sit here and go on your brakes like that. We have an engine brake for a reason. I don't even remember how heavy this trailer is. Probably around 40,000 pounds. We did have a fuel gauge on this too, and it broke. We couldn't get it to stay relative to truck manufacturer or capacity for, you know, tank size. So it was always reading incorrectly. So I realized that I can just look down. I have a gauge. I can read it. If I can't find a fuel gauge, I mean, my 13 years in the field has become very invalid. But for those of you just showing up, thanks for hanging out. It's a lovely Saturday. It's pretty hot. It's about 95 here, and our AC is at full blast, and we're doing the best we can to stay cool. So hopefully, wherever you guys are in the world, you're staying chill. Australia, enjoy your winter time. All right, 1,013 kilometers to go, down to 3 hours and 5 minutes or so of drive time, as you guys can see on the screen up above. So we're going to go ahead and hop down there in just a moment. Let that drop down a little bit more. So we have two methods on brake taking here. So you have your 45-minute, which is your brings you back to your 4.5 hours or whatever. And then, all right, relax. Come on, let's just knock it down here. No, get off your brakes, you dum-dum. Anyway, like I was saying here real quick is, oh shoot, I forgot. Oh yeah. So we're talking about the math, right? Why are we hitting our brakes, everybody? Interesting. So that up on the right-hand side, upper right of your screen, you can see the timer right there. It does, the break times work both two ways. So we have our 45-minute break, which brings us back to the last 4.5 hours of our day. And if we don't have that left, it'll be less than that. But once that runs out, I mean, there's not really a penalty system, but I haven't really figured that out yet. But I do know how to make this pretty much track where it's supposed to. So you have your 45-minute, that'll bring it back up to where it's supposed to be, and then you have your 11-hour rest break that I just go in the menu and set it and forget it, and it's done. Don't you do it. I'm going this way. Oh, well, that's fun. I wasn't supposed to go this way, but I did it anyway. Look at me. And no. Don't do this, people. You dummy. can wait, homie. Hey, don't do that. Please, and thank you. I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna see you right now. No. We're gonna scrape the whole side of the trailer coming down that. Oh, yeah. There you go. You didn't see that. That is erroneous. I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, crisis averted. Remember, we're just hanging out, and we're just cruising. So, if you have any questions about the software, hit me up. I will be on here for a while today. There we go. I tell you, this is gonna get really weird once we get to the UK. Okay, so if you guys notice the clock up there on the upper right, we're down to about 55 minutes or so. We're going to start looking for a place to pull off and do a break, and I'll show you guys how that metric works here very soon. Let's see what we got coming up here. You know, we might be screwed. I don't know. We're going to find out here very soon. We're hitting that half-hour mark. Technically not supposed to pass here, but whatever. There you go, big boy. I'm gonna pause that real quick. See, this is where route planning becomes a huge deal. And it's not a good thing to just guess that you're going to be able to make it somewhere. And this is kind of like something that I've dealt with personally as a truck driver. It's something you have to watch out for. Not overshooting. Like, because if we look at our map real quick, you know, our last, I mean, guess good place to take a break would have been getting off here before we went over this bridge. And this is the thing, is like we have to see how much time we have left. We have to do the math and make things happen that way. Oh, please. Oh, hey, Huey Lewis is on. So yeah, anyway, what I'm getting at here is that I probably could have done better about, trip planning, which is a big thing. So we're over because our shift total keeps counting down. But either way, we're going to see where we can get to. Technically, we're supposed to have taken a break already, and we didn't trip plan that. So this is where it falls apart. Oh, God, that's what I said. And a couple other things about this is it does detect driving. So if you're above 5 kilometers an hour, it will auto trip into driving, and you cannot take it out of driving unless you're stopped. That doesn't mean you have to have the brakes set, but it means that you have to be completely stopped to make that metric work, which is pretty cool. So. But again, we do have it paused, kind of, just so it doesn't show a 0 on the screen, which I guess really doesn't matter. Let's just keep showing zeros. Be proud of those zeros. We earned those. All right. La 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 la. I cannot believe this truck has 850,000 kilometers on it. That's not real. It's too new for that. But really, it's not. I mean, how old is this thing? Probably 2019, 2018, something like that. It's hard to say. Yeah, pop our speed down a little bit. We got a roundabout coming up. I was hanging out in a single axle, I think it was like a MAN or a Scania earlier, and it was raining like this, and I took a corner, and all I did was just slide everywhere. It was pretty funny. Stop. Thank you. Holy cow. But it was pretty comical, taking corners and stuff, and it just understeer. It was pretty funny. I love this realistic traffic thing, but oh my gosh, this is kind of a pain in the butt. And I do not have the system to run this as well as you would do that, wouldn't you? Good job. Apologies for you guys not being able to hear what's in my headphones, but I have Huey Lewis on, which is pretty great. I don't think it's going to be necessarily worth it to take our break right before we get on the ship. Only simply because we're going to be getting on a ship. There's really no reason whatsoever to double break it, right? So, go. Thank you. It is a weird thing to kind of circumvent SCS's rest break thing, with their SDK telemetry data. It's quite interesting. But I think we did a pretty good job. Getting it to sync up to game time was probably the biggest hurdle I think I came across. Just trying to figure out where it lived. Because, we were trying to go off of the in-game clock. But then, what we were finding with my WebSocket for the telemetry stream that streams to my phone or whatever, the one you guys see, is it was interesting because we were trying to work it out, and it was streaming off of how long the game had been open in seconds, and I was like, oh, this doesn't match the clock, and then we somehow hooked it up to the odometer, which worked pretty close for a little bit, depending, and it was just a whole bunch of mess. And then we started looking through SDK data and Notepad and realized this is where it is, so we need to add that SDK into our C++. And after that, it's been flawless. But we're about to get on the boat, so it's a 9 or 10 hour run. So We're gonna have to get off the boat and take an immediate rest, I think. I'll get over here. We'll figure it out. I don't know why our damage says full though, so we're gonna go ahead and take a look in here and see what the diagnostics say. Yeah, so you know, I don't believe that. You know, it says the wheels are damaged at 99%. That is so bizarre. Let me take a quick photo of that. It's so interesting. I don't think it's C++ related with that. I think that damage metric is 100% related to the mod file. So I'm gonna dig around in some of the files here for a minute once I get on the boat here and put it in off duty and just let my shift reset. There's got to be something we're missing because that's wrong. And I thought I fixed that, and I guess not. Why would you do that? Oh, I know. England! Oh, this is going to be so bizarre. So anyway, if we look on our last page of our screen here, it gives you everything that we've picked up, dropped off, which is cool. So there's a little bit of a secret behind this. You absolutely have to finish the drive out. You can't teleport or this won't populate. So this is kind of just like a job history ledger, which is pretty cool. I'm very happy with that. Honestly, other than this text bullshit, I would say that this whole app thing has been a resounding success. Like, I could not be happier. So yeah, let's get up here, let's stop, let's hit the boat, let's go to England. Let's let it reset my time for a little bit, get that last half hour in while we look at the mod files and see what broke with the damage metric, because that is not correct. Let's turn off duty. There you go. And you guys are going to just stare at nothing. So 19 hours, that's actually going to reset our time. So we'll put this on pause real quick. And then, bang, check that out. It automatically updates. How cool is that? But I think that we have a mod file inconsistency somewhere. So you guys stay with what you're doing. We're going to dive into this economy file here really quick. I think I have an idea of what's going on. Let me take a gander here. So we're going to go in our documents folder to... Nope, it's going to be our desktop. I think there's an issue with damage data. Give me 2 seconds. I'll fix this real quick. damage data. Ooh, Talking Heads is on. I personally think that that's it. I think I missed. Yeah, just looking at it, I think I missed the E6. So if we do this, save it, hop back out of here. We're going to hop to our main screen real quick just to swap this mod file around real quick. Don't go anywhere. Which is something else that we need to talk about is Def and Manifest go together. That's right. The clock does reset, but so it's nice to always remember to go into the main screen when you've actually taken your break. All right, so we're going to go more options, 7-zip, add to archive. And then okay, so that's brand new. That gets taken here, copy. Let's see if it'll let me put it in here. Yes, okay, I don't have to close the game out. Beautiful. See, this is what I like about this. It's just the debugging side of everything is pretty cool. So that's already updated. We're good. All right, let's knock this out. All right. We're back. We're back. All right, we are ready to rock and roll now. All right, I had to fix something real small in the damage mod file. I was getting... so if you guys look here, I'll show you what's going on. This. I forgot the E, or the minus sign here on the damage section, and it is absolutely maxed, which is hilarious. So we fixed that. And we're fixed. We're back rolling. So as you can see, we did take our full break. We have 4.5 hours left. We are an hour and 52 minutes away from Grimsby, I think. I don't remember exactly where we're going. Is it Grimsby? Yes, it is Grimsby. So welcome to the UK, everybody. My custom ELD. Oh, geez. Oh, my God. Where's the door? Where is it? How do I get out of here? Oh, literally right there. Why? Let's get that trailer over to my... There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, now. This is weird because now we're on the opposite side of the road because, of course we are. But now you can see our timer counting down at the bottom of the screen there. Beautiful. Oh, we're gonna wait for this guy to go. We don't have room. There we go. Drive on left. You got it. This is bizarre, y'all. Come on, Tesla. It's not that hard. You have the right of way. We are on the main street here. I believe that's how that works. Oh, God. I don't like this. Sing it, Billy Squire. Told me you guys had one of my headphones in. Alright. Let's knock this out. Oh, God, I forgot. This is in miles an hour, too. Oh, we gotta be careful. And I do not believe I have a quick swap for that. I almost wonder if I should make the speedometer and the digital stuff all like both, so it doesn't matter what it is, you always see it in both. So it's not like, I would make it really easy to compile too if everything was in both. So if I put, you know, kilometers on one side, then miles an hour on the other, and then just had like the speedometers next to each other with miles an hour and kilometers an hour, and then have like an odometer that has both values, so then you're not switching anything. I don't know, that's an idea. This is weird. I don't like this. Alright. Oh, this feels so wrong on so many levels. Is it still 80 kilometers an hour? Yes, it is. Okay, so it's still 50 miles an hour in England. Okay, unless the expressways or motorways are different. Oh, right. I don't even remember where our home base is out of. I think it's out of Finland somewhere. I don't like being that close to the wall. That is so bizarre. I can only imagine that's what it's like having a JDM car in America. Like you're right next to the curb. That's so weird. So we'll take a right up here and hop. There we go. That makes sense. Why are you dinging? I had my blinker on. What the heck? So we're going over that bridge. Okay, I see. Our only way. It's the only way. Oh yeah, we used quite a substantial amount of fuel too. Y'all know what? I know that people are like, places like New York City get a lot of a bad rap as far as driving a truck through. I did that last year, end of last year, earlier this year. What is one of the coolest things I think I have ever done in my career? Was running through NYC. Like, specifically I was running through Brooklyn. getting in and out of the city is the biggest pain in the butt I think I have ever had the pleasure of doing, but it was the coolest thing I have ever done. Like, New York City there is such an experience to NYC. I'm going, you can wait. There we go, beautiful. That was really stupid. But no, New York City was a very, very cool experience. I want to go back, you know, when I actually have time to, I guess, check it out. So is this only, okay, yeah, so this left lane turns into a turning only lane. My next thing, which is probably not ever going to happen, but I can dream. I have like a Garmin 620 that I had in my truck. And as far as I understand, those are coded on like an Android platform too. I want to take that and make it to where my in-game GPS data flows to that Garmin. So I have like an external GPS. I think that'd be the coolest thing on the planet. You know, because I already built this, you know, from scratch. You know, so I think that it would be really cool to kind of have like a standalone GPS in my cockpit. I would love that so much. And for anyone wondering, that this GPS thing, or this ELD like that I'm swiping through right now, like this whole thing was such a labor of love, and I cannot give you the amount of hours that I spent trying to make it work. It was, I think I spent the entirety of last weekend in my little closet here just plugging away for hours and hours and hours trying to make things work, and look at it. It was, you know, it was very much worth all of the effort I put into it. Even those times where I was like ready to just nuke it to orbit. But I love it very much. I'm very proud of it, and hopefully y'all watching are happy with it. You know, you guys like it. Tell your friends. I don't know how to market it. I don't know if I want to sell it. I don't know if I want to leave it as like a freemium kind of thing. I don't know what I want to do with it. I mean, keep it personal. Put it on Patreon. Like, I don't know what I want to do, because it is a very rock solid piece of software. I'm very proud of it, and I want it to go to people who are as dedicated in the simming world as I am. Like, I've got 13 years of actual behind the wheel experience in conventional trucks in America. And I still drive truck now, just I work for a state entity, so it's a little bit different, but I have a lot of experience in this industry to begin with, and I want this to go to people who have that same kind of mindset. And if you really look at my gameplay, I have, between both ETS2 and ATS, I probably have close to 5,000 or more hours in the last 10 years just logged in this, you know. It's my favorite. That is way too fast for that corner. Holy crap, we're gonna knock it down a little bit. That's scary. I gotta turn that automatic braking off. I don't really like it, you know, because it's the emergency thing. A lot of trucks have an automatic retarder. This one doesn't even have one. But especially the automatic braking, like if you get up behind someone, or the not even automatic braking, it's the adaptive cruise. You get up behind somebody and it'll sit there and pump the brakes until you lose air pressure. And like that. I don't understand why it does that. That is way too sharp of a corner for 80 kilometers an hour. Holy cow. I'm not sure why it does that. That's not how it really works. Especially in our trucks, you know, my Cascadia was a 23, 22, 23, somewhere around there. And it had an automatic Jake on it and everything. So with adaptive cruise, all I had to do was set it, and if it got close enough, it would kick the Jake on by itself and keep a distance. Like, it would hit the brakes too, but only in extreme situations. Let's slow down for this. But anyway, any questions y'all have about the software, go ahead and hit me with it. I'd love to answer it. You know, it was again, labor of love. You know, I want it better. I want what SCS won't give us. Which, no disrespect, I mean, they have their market locked down, and that's the thing you got to think about when you're working with games like this, is so many of these players are looking for like a casual, you know, sim. Like, I have Dalton Highway on ATS, and it is a 1-to-1 map of a 600-mile dirt road from Fairbanks to Deadhorse. When it says you're going to be in the seat for 15 hours, you are going to be in the damn seat for 15 hours. And if that's not something you're into, like, I get why game modes like this are popular, because it's for the casual person. You know, you're not looking to reinvent the wheel or anything, or go super hard with it. You want to get in and enjoy yourself. And unfortunately, getting in and just enjoying yourself means that a lot of people have to lose features that would make the game better for them because of some of the restrictions. I believe I see that is a roundabout. I will not even get over yet. Slow down. That's too fast. That's better. About 50 Ks. That looks good. But anyway, like, what I'm getting at is that they built this for the majority market, right? So there's a few thousand people out there who are super deep into the sim rig world, like me, who want as realistic as possible, and that's who they market. They market to everyone else besides us. Like, yeah, it's good enough, but I want better, and that's why I built it. So I want to cater to all of the other people who are super big on simulators and getting the most realism absolutely possible, and that's why I built this. I also run it at warp 0.85, which means it slows the game down to 85% game speed, which in my experience, you better stay. This is more realistic as far as game speed, so that's interesting. But there we go. Around the roundabout. This is the day, man. Like, I have my jams on. Like, I'm just cruising and having a good time and listening to some good music. That's what it's all about. So I can see the light right there. Perfect. All right. We're about to drop this one off and pick up our next run. Let's get over here to the left. So yeah, upper entrance, so the entrance right in front of us up to the left. Where we're gonna go. I also mentioned the Cascadia earlier. All like the window switches and the steering wheel switches, all of that is the same in the American Freightliner, because Daimler owns Freightliner, and Daimler also is the parent company of Mercedes-Benz. So Daimler trucks our Freightliner, so, and Mercedes. All right, let's whip this into the spot real quick. Check this out. Keep it nice and wide, and start cutting it tight, right like that. Gotta have that reference point on your eyeballs, y'all. And then just slam it in reverse, and a nice little adjustment to the left. And this goes right into the hole. That's close enough. That's not perfect, but it'll register. Perfect. So what we're gonna do before we do anything is brakes, engine off, and we're gonna head over to our ELD, head that on to off duty or work, which actually doesn't give you a brake, I don't believe. But we're gonna go ahead and decouple, see what we got. 152 liters, so almost 800 XP, 103 pounds or euro for money. Let's knock it out over here back to request route, and we're going to go to number 6. Let's go over to quick job in Grimsby, because we got to pick the same city we left from. That's the rule. So we're going to go over here to Grimsby, UK, and that says number 6. So you count from 1. So 1, 5 is in Brest, France, and this goes back to Esbjerg, however the hell you say that, in Denmark, for $11. That is ridiculous. So we're just going to get right back on the boat. Yeah, go deliver this to Denmark. But this is the thing, is this is why this is so grindy. This is why I like this so much, is you don't have the randomize, random thing of loads. You pick what you get. It's just a second, we'll get on that. All right. And hit it, ladies and gentlemen, hit it. And then watch. There we go. Look at that. Automatically updates. 878,000 kilometers. We can see that matches. All right, and that's going to count down. So how far is, while we do this, we have 2 hours and 17 minutes to get to the boat. It's about 2 hours. So we're going to have to hit it hard before we get to there. Or we're going to have to run over and take a little hour nappy poo over here somewhere to make sure that we have a full clock. Because we're going to have a full clock anyway once we get to Denmark. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to head out of here first. We're going to stop there, advance time an hour, and go from there. All right, cool. Beautiful. Now, so I'll show you something here. So put it in drive. I don't know why the brake doesn't automatically start engaged. I'm sure that's a metric I can fix. That's weird. We're on the opposite side again. We're gonna come out this way. See, it kicked us into driving by itself. This thing weighs nothing. That's so weird, y'all. I also wanted to add with the whole economy system is there's a 15% deduction in revenue when you're using a rented trailer. Like if you don't own your trailer, so if you're not doing a cargo market job but only a freight market job. No, we're gonna get a little bit further out than that. We're only hanging out for a minute, boys. Why is it not letting me do that? Okay. Can I not do that? There we go. All right, we'll just stay here. Beautiful. Off duty, and I will be right back. And we're back. All right, cool. Water time. Who doesn't like water time? I love water time. Cool stuff, y'all. Okay, cool. So let's get the motor started up again. And I love how the brake still counts down even if you've already taken one. That's great. Okay, so cool. Let's do this. Make sure my lights are on. There we go. I knew something felt weird. All right, let's get to the boat. Let's get this dropped off. That's so weird. There we go. All right. Oh, yep. I knew that was happening. Oops. All right. The thing about this, realistically though, is yeah, this revenue stinks, right? But once I buy my own truck and I'm paying for my own fuel and all of that, I will be getting paid more. So it's not necessarily that's going to make it worth it. But I'm also going to stop using the load randomizer button once I own my trailer. Because what sense does it make to be restricted on loads when you own your equipment? Like, if I own my truck and not my trailer, that's one thing. Sure, I'll follow the randomizer, but if I own both my truck and my trailer, you know, I should have a say in what freight I pick up and deliver. I'm probably still going to use it, though. It feels right to me. That is such a sharp corner for 80 kilometers an hour. Oops. It's so weird trying to get used to the other side, so excuse the little crunchy. Oh, hush. There we go. heard this before. Ah! I don't like that. Come on, dude. All right. Yeah, I don't like this whole right-hand drive thing, but we're going to cross this bridge, we're going to get on the boat, and that's it. Oops. Huh, I probably should have stayed on the freeway. right. Almost in Denmark. Almost to the boat. Hey, look, a rainbow. It's like you have to relearn how to drive by switching sides. And it's like nothing's different, it's just a perspective thing. Go. That's still too quick, in my opinion. What do I know? I'm just a 5. Man, I cannot wait to show y'all the truck that is getting bought after this, as long as I can afford it, because God, I know what I want. And it's got a C15 Caterpillar in it, and you're gonna call me a liar, but when you really start looking at it, it is a Euro truck. It is just from Finland. And they're based on something very familiar. They sound amazing. Look at all of that backed up traffic, and I just skated through all of it. No, that's not what I said. There we go. It is quite nice. And it's just, I am very big on, does the exhaust note, is it just right? You know what I mean? But we're in the grind spot right now, as you can see. So we're going to get over to Denmark. We're going to get this into off-duty. We're going to hop on the boat. We're going to get over to Denmark, drop this off. We'll have about a full shift after that, so about 9 hours to do what else we got to do. I think we're at like 17 out of 30 loads now before we can get a bank loan. So, and if you guys are wondering, whoever's on channel, what I mean about 17 out of 30 loads before the bank loan, I have compiled my own hard economy mod, and it requires 30 loads before you're allowed to get a traditional bank loan. And so you have to grind it out at average freight market prices, which are like 30 some odd cents a kilometer. So they can get really cheap. This one is one of those, but anywhere between 20 and 35 cents a kilometer as a company driver, but then you assume no risk. So it really doesn't make, it's not that bad. But, and then with that economy mod as well, if you decide that, you know, you don't want to buy a trailer and you're running off the freight market instead of the cargo market, those freight market prices are 15% cheaper, because it takes into account a 15% brokerage / trailer rental fee. So I have thought about this to the nth degree when I built this. All right, so 20 hours. So we'll be there early tomorrow morning. I'll have a full clock. If you want to look at the upper right and watch this, our clock's going to reset. All right. And then it'll kick itself right into driving at 5 kilometers an hour, just like that. We're 8 kilometers away from our destination. And that job is done and done. Where are we going here? Straight out. Okay, cool. And now we're back on the right. This trailer is long. All right. I'm just gonna send it. Just send it, boys. There we go. Beautiful. Cool. And we're almost done with this. And we'll have most of a full shift left for the next load. It's good stuff. What is the speed limit? 50. Okay, so we're still right there. You guys listening to? Throw what your playlist is in the comments below. Let's see what you guys got going on here. I've got the Police in on one ear. Great group. Stuart Copeland's probably one of my favorite drummers of all time. Just around this roundabout, we will be there. Okay, so if you're from the EU, will you please tell me what the rules are? Is it signal into the roundabout or signal out of the roundabout? I'm not quite sure what the rules are, because in America you signal in and out of the roundabout, but what is it in the EU? You're in your own lane, buddy. What are you doing? Thank you. Sending. All right. Coming right in here, y'all. Please fit. Please fit. No scrapey. There we go. Oh, perfect. See if we can do this. One shot. Ready? That was a little bit too far on one side, but we're close enough. And then just back her on in. I keep wanting to look at the top mirror, and that's the convex mirror. I guess you just want to do that. All right. There you go. Come on, why am I looking at that top mirror? I do not understand. Because in America, the convex mirror is on the bottom on most trucks. Alright, now we're going to go over to off-duty and hit our engine off, disconnect. Cool. Alright, let's see. What do we got? Number 8. First of all, let's count how many loads have we done. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we have 12 to go before we can buy a truck. Okay. And we picked number 8. We're in Denmark again. Ooh, there's more freight here than I thought. We said number 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going up to Norway. Christiansand, Norway. It's not too bad, actually. We have 4 hours to go. We're going to have to plan that because if we go into the map here. Oh, it shows me in Finland still. Okay, so we can't do the math on that right now, but we will take that one. That's a good run. I have not been up to Norway yet, so this is where I miss Pro Mods, though, because holy Jesus, God in heaven, it was beautiful. All right, let's get this rolling. Let's reset our clock here. Or reset our... All right, cool. Man, I love those mirror cameras. I'm sorry, they're great. Okay, so let's, before we start our clock, we want to get in here and see, because we're going to have to find something within about 4 hours of in-game time. That's 2 hours and 32, so we have 4 hours 11 before we, can we make it to the shipping boat? Yes, just barely. So if we absolutely have to, we'll come into here to this service center if we have to, but I don't think we're gonna have to. I think we're gonna be just fine. All right, let's swap this out. Excuse me. All right, I think we can do it. Let's hit it. All right, this may be a tight one. We can go this way. It's gonna be better for us to take a right out of here than a left, just because we're already set up to take that right corner. Okay, cool, awesome. This thing's pretty quick. Not gonna lie, it's pretty good rig. Lights on for safety, because that's how we roll. Let's look at our logbook real quick. Yeah, so we had that empty spool. And it gives you your time and all of that too. It's pretty cool. Oh, and on this upper right here, it says clear log. That's a 5-second hold. So you have to push that button down and hold it to clear yourself, just to make sure that you're not overwriting. Hey, that is a tight corner. There we go. Anyway, just one of those things, and it's pretty good, actually. So if you start a new profile, you can kind of reset. But anyway, another thing to remember here is that ledger is scrollable. That red is actually really nice. I like that a lot. But you can scroll that ledger, so you can always look in your job history. So you never have to forget, you know, what got you where you're at. I was gonna shoot that and I can't. This thing is not very heavy, I'll tell you that. It just picks up and moves. Beautiful. Alright, now we're on the main highway. Let's roll. Let's get up there as fast as we can up to Norway. Holy crap, this thing just takes off, doesn't it? Ooh, okay. Yeah, don't do that with a light trailer, because you will slide. And that's another thing I was doing the other day when it was wet. I had the retarder on, and the middle was just coming out. So you're counter steering, trying to catch it. It's a very fun time, ladies and gentlemen. Very fun. When you're like, oh god, don't hit that. Back this off to 75. We'll get a little bit of distance. Yeah, slow down for the bridge. Okay, I guess that's what we're doing now. Okay, that's a thing. Wow, okay. I didn't know this had that. Okay, sweet. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and stop real quick. Put ourselves off duty. Set the bridge. And, yeah, let's wait for this bridge, y'all. I was wondering why the train was stopped, and now I have my answer. That's cool. Let's see if we can't get an outside view of this. Just because I have to get an outside view. That's sick. Very cool. Man. All right. freaking sailboat donors. I wonder if he's got sailboat fuel. Anyone else find that joke funny? Sailboat fuel? Can you imagine what it would have been like, 50, 60, 70 years ago when there were actual drawbridge operators where that's your entire work, is to go sit up in a drawbridge control room all day and look at boats and wait for a boat to kind of like come in and then raise the deck of the bridge and stuff. And I want to know how many incidents have been related to that job, like how many people have screwed up and like what that's caused. That's funny to me. I like to think about stuff like that. It just makes me wonder, like, what has happened in the past that has made that automated. Like, I'm saying like too much, but you get my point. Come on, buddy. I know you can do more than 70. All right, we're at 2 hours and 22 minutes. I don't know if we're going to make this before break time, so we might just stop at one of the fuel stations on the way to the boat to make sure that we get that break in. For those wondering, I have disabled all of the in-game dynamics and stuff for rest breaks. I've taken all of that and stripped it down and gotten rid of it all. And I do not follow it. So this is all strictly based off of my app, and it's the honor system, really, because it doesn't penalize you for going over, but you get my point. I see the white line. I see it. I totally see it. I seen it! I seen it. Yeah, we might have to do that. I don't want to take a look at the map. This is why I wish I had an external map I could play with. Which, again, might be a reality at some point in the future if I could do this again, so. How does this thing have almost 1 million kilometers on it already? Holy cow. Thank you, sir. Get out of my way. I don't care. That was really reckless. Move your behind. I see the delineator. Okay. You two? Come on. Let's work on that visual real quick, because I don't think you guys can see my mirror at all. I don't think you can. I put it right there, though. We might be okay. I'll check here in a second. Once we stop, I'll leave this screen up and we'll adjust that. Data stream, because I don't think... Maybe over here on the left would be better for you guys. I think that's where I'm going to put it. Just simply because it... but we got to see... We'll find a spot, I'm sure, because I'm realizing now that it's blocking the upper mirror. I don't think I should care. That's probably fine. Come on. There you go, buddy. Yeah, where are we right now? Yeah, we're not going to make that. So we're going to stop right here up on our left of this fuel station, and we're going to go ahead and get our brake in. Which essentially means we're going to park it. Advance time by an hour. Pretty sure this isn't legal, but we're doing it anyway. Nope, don't hit the Tesla. Or do hit the Tesla. Stick it to Mr. Elon. That will be alright. No? You're not going to register? Where is it? Oh, we'll just do this. Yeah, where is it? Am I not far enough over? That's broken. There we go. Right there. We found it. Okay. Stop the engine. Off. Hit enter. Did it move again? Okay, there we go. One. All right, finally. What the heck was that all about? Okay, and now, an hour later. No, it's not. Come on, dude, go. It's because I'm hitting that wall. Oh no, my brake was on. Oopsie. Anyway, we have our time back. That's good. 8, 6, 7, 5, 3, 1, 9. Sorry. Anyway, 8675309. Sing along, everybody. Come have a good day. I really like that generation of Volvo too, as well as the MP3 Actros. Those things are so tight. All right. It's green. All right. Who's ready for Norway, everyone? Who's ready to go to Norway? At least it's not Finland! I love Finland. It's like my bucket list country to live. I love Finland. I have half a mind that I remember this interchange from like pro mods. Or I might be misremembering because I do that a lot. I do have to get pro mods back for this though, it's so good. Let's lock the tires up, why don't we? It's great. It's the way you do it. Okay, so it has a blind spot monitor in that too. That's pretty tight. Object detection device, okay. It's a nice looking project. Well, I guess it does make sense for slowing down. Coming up on the city here. I'll go get this delivered, and I think I'm going to step out for a while. Go do some other stuff today. I can see it! Holy cow! You pass a light pole and it's like, ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I see it. You know, I have eyes, right? All right. And this thing just cruises. I love this truck. It's great. And here I am, crazy, thinking I was going to make it to the service station up here on the left. Absolutely not happening. What is that? Oh, some kind of building of some sort. A nice storage yard over to our right, a park lot. Unfortunately, we can't use that. That would be sweet, by the way. I made the mistake of doing that in Brownsville. I was down picking up a load from the port of Brownsville. I don't even remember what it was. What were those that I picked up? It was like aluminum ingots or something like that were going to go get melted down for whatever. And I turned around in the wrong lot and I got yelled at. Like, you can't do that. And why not? I wasn't tearing your lot up. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I just wanted to be that way, I guess. Alright, here we are. Let's get up to Norway. Off duty, or we'll put ourselves in sleeper for this one. We're going straight up to Kristiansand, which is fine. That means that we'll have 4 hours and 11 minutes left to get this here, and we are right outside, so very good. I just fixed that this morning. That works. I'm so happy to hear that and to see that. So let's get this delivered. Come on. There you go. Turn the corner. And is that in its own little lot? No, it looks like it's just here. So I'll just whip it around, back into that spot, call that load done and done, folks. Done and done. Watch and learn, y'all. There we go. Just right there. That's it. Not gonna take. Oh, it is gonna take it. Okay. Beautiful. Off duty, and then hit the unload button. One more done. I might do one more. Might do one more. Cool. Gosh, this economy makes it so hard to grind this out. I think we're at 11 trips left, and we can pull a bank loan and buy our truck. Let's go ahead and look at. I cannot even look at truck dealers yet. That is crazy. Let's see. Let's go back over one screen over. Let's pick our next victim. All right, we are in Kristiansand, Norway. What number is it going to be? Watch the upper right, folks. Number 4. Going back to Germany. €105 for this trip to Germany. So we're going to hit the boat, get right back into Hirtschul's, and then we're going to take that, and we should be able to get all the way down in one run. We're going to have to take a rest break somewhere because I'm going to run out of time. So let's get here and go from there. So. Oh, Nazareth is on. I just actually bought a Nazareth record not too long ago at one of our, how do I say it? It's one of our, like, it's a flea market kind of thing, like assignment store, and someone put a Nazareth record in the bin, and because we bought a record player, and probably one of the coolest things I've seen in a while. So, all right. So let's look at this, because we have 4 hours and 7 minutes to go. So we need to find something that's within that. This is not going to satisfy our 11-hour break. So unfortunately, we're going to probably sit right around the time, about 4 hours. So we need to see where is within 4 hours. So let's get on the boat. Let's get across here. Let's stop in the port and let's check to trip plan that and see where we are real quick. I think that's the first order of business, because we're not gonna make this on one go, and that's what makes this interesting. So let's start the Scania up and let's go. Lights on for safety. So 622 kilometers from my point right now. That is a big boat. I can see it. Holy crap. Don't yell at me. I can see it. I wish that this had those mirror cameras. They're so nice. It takes the whole thing and just puts it on your A-pillar. Alright. Alright, let's get to Denmark. And let's check the time out. See what we got going on here. And after this, we are in the top 10, ladies and gentlemen. Top 10. And then we can buy a truck. Okay, let's get back to off-duty. Perfect. Let's see what we got. So we're going to go back to Herschel's, 3 and some change hours. So here's the thing, is even though we're doing a 45-minute break, that shift total is not going to reset to 4.5. That's how usual ELDs work. Once we get to 11 hours, or once we do an 11-hour run, that'll reset to 4.5. But since we have only 4 hours left on shift total. So while we're sitting here, let's run over to the map. Let's see where we are. This is 2 hours. This is 4 hours and 6 minutes. So that's not going to work. Is any of this off the freeway? We do have a little rest area right here at the service center, about 3 hours away, that we'll do our nightly reset at right here. So we'll just follow this updated map. We'll get off the freeway there. We'll hit that spot, get our sleep in, and then continue for the other 290 Ks or so. Get back on the freeway and so yeah, right here is perfect. And then we'll get into Germany and we'll drop this off. Or I could run out to this service center right now. Let's take a look at that map again. Because we're 6 hours. Okay, so let's just stop at the one right here. And take our break here. Why split it? Because we're going to have to either wait now and get that break in, or we're going to have to wait in 3 hours and do it. It doesn't make sense to just drive to wait. The only thing that does is it opens up time tomorrow. Where's my fuel at? Let's check the info out on this. Oh, fine. No, I don't think that's it. Nope. Next one. Let's take a little break here, so then we can make it with one break for the remainder. And it'll get us back in the morning, into the daylight, which is safer anyway. Come on. Perfect. All right. There we go. Now we're back in the daytime, into safety and traffic, but we're all right. Let's get out of Dodge. That's irritating. Okay, if you're not gonna go, I'm gonna go. We'll bump this up to 80. There it is. I had to find which area in the dash that was at, because I have not driven one of these before. These new Scanias are actually kind of nice. Let's see. Pretty good, pretty comfortable. Looks nice. I find that the buttons for the light switches are on the door panel. That's kind of interesting. What is that 90 kilometer an hour sticker right above the right hand side of the steering wheel? I don't know what that's for. I gotta look at that. I gotta look that up. Swipe back over to our cages here. Everything's beautiful. It's about 7:30 p.m. We should be rolling in. So we gotta take our break too. It fits perfectly right within our window. That was good when I edited stuff. Oh, hey, real quick, let's check something because we did edit some of the mod files here. So let's go to the vehicle diagnostics real quick. Okay, beautiful. So it was the wheel math when I forgot that minus sign in the equation that screwed me up. We're all good. It's a simple text misplacement. All is fine. Why would you do that? Wouldn't you, like, want to just hit the throttle? I mean, come on, man. Freaking idiots everywhere. I can see in my mirror. You do not need to yell at me. I'm pretty sure I can turn that off. I just choose not to. It's less authentic that way. Ah, I see it. Oh, yeah. You wait, pickup truck. You wait there. Do not do that. Thank you. Wonder where we're gonna go after this. And 10 more loads left, and then I can buy my truck. God, I'm excited. If you guys saw me peek into my mod files, it's there. If you guys were paying attention. And if not, that's fine too. Come on, big boy. Ah, you... something. Goodbye, everyone. Eat my shorts. Oh, don't you do that. Come on. There we go. Thank you. Oh, my lord. Should be getting pretty close to that rest spot. Which we're doing our little 45-minute stint. That's right. Oh, thank goodness for cruise control. I can stand up. Stretch my legs out a little bit. Oh, a little bit of stutter there. That was weird. Actually, I don't see that too bad. It's interesting looking at Europe through the lenses of an American. You know, everything is so different. And I know that this is just like a small depiction of, you know, Denmark, but everything is so different up here than America. Like, it's not bigger is better. Everything's more clearly marked. This has a completely different atmosphere. What are you talking about? Alright, down to an hour. This better be coming up quick, because we're running out of time. I think we'll just bypass that, because we're about 3 hours out from delivery. So we'll just stop here. Reset our map real quick. Oh, because it reset. Okay, that's why. Because we were going to stop here, and we missed it. Okay. Whatever. We're going to stop here, though. And take our break there. That looks good to me. This is only our midday, so we're gonna go ahead and head to the back here where we're supposed to be. You god dang truck drivers, you guys go to the back. Truckers' rights. Alright. Engine off duty. I'm gonna go back for an hour and reset that. Alright. Let's get on the road, y'all. About 3 hours to go to get there. There we go. All right. Oh, Jesus. There we go. There we go, buddy. Get back in your lane. Do what you're supposed to do. All right. Almost to the border here. Is it only a check going into Denmark, or is it a check on both sides of the border? I'm not sure. Drop that down to 70. So we're going into Germany. Why is there a border check station on one side but not the other? Does anyone know? Huh. Nope, we're gonna stay right there because that doesn't make sense. Welcome to Germany, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really excited for like Portugal, Spain, stuff like that, and I'm really excited for like the multi-day long-haul runs that are 2,000-3,000 kilometers at once. You know, that's what I'm excited for. Get this truck purchased and start leasing trailers, getting more levels up, and that's just all good things. Where are we on fuel? Oh, we're all right on fuel, half a tank. That's what that looks like to me, at least. Half of me wants to fill it up just in case, but the other half of me doesn't because we're only 116 kilometers away. We're not going to run out of fuel in 100 kilometers. That's crazy. Right. Oh, yeah. Absolutely beautiful. Anyone else remember back in the day when this game was fairly new and no one really was into the modding culture yet? And people would make maps and they would take like existing pieces of like data and they'd splice them all together to make a quote-unquote map. Those were the best days. And then when like the other maps were, you know, as I remember when Africa, there was like a North Africa map for this, and it was all just a black asphalt road and then just like sloped sand on the side, and that was literally all. and they expected you to be happy with that. That was very funny to me back in the day. Oh man. Oh, we do have to get over to this one because this is one of those intersections. You pop off the interstate and you sit on the frontage road for a moment. That makes sense. We're almost to our drop-off, folks. Slow down big time for this curve. That's still a bit too fast. There we go. Nice and slow. We don't ever want to go through these too fast. They really did a good job with these LCD screens, by the way, that's in the truck here. Like, hitting the sun just right, that matte black color. They did a fantastic job with it. Right. Oh, yeah. It's like, look at those LCD screens in the sun. That's so real. That is so realistic. And we are coming up on our target here real quick. Looks like we're about to get off the road here in just a second. Keep that retarder up just a little bit. Slow ourselves down. Get the engine braking on it. There we go. Don't want to get too close to that guy. Why wouldn't you hit the throttle, stupid? All right, here we go. Come on, climb the hill. You can do it. All right. Maybe I should speed through here. That'd be great. Right? Shouldn't speed. I seen it. Interesting. Let me just look at that. You can definitely see like the matte finish on those screens. That is cool. Go out in your car if you have like a newer one with an LCD screen and go look at it. It's almost identical. I think that it's very cool that they implemented that. I don't need you to yell at me because you see a light pole. I see the light pole. I'm not dumb. There we go. Should probably lean into that throttle instead of just jumping it like that. There we go. All right. Surprised it's not yelling at me that the wall's there. All right, let's deliver this. Okay, so we're just gonna pop it right here and flip it around. Or, yeah, we're gonna see how much room we have. Okay, and right, and all the way back left. Widen this out, because we don't want to tag the side of that building, but we're gonna get pretty close. Just like that. Just like that. Rotate that all the way around, and we should be pretty close to lined up. That's what happens when you've done this for 13 years. Ooh, I just realized something, that my speedometer counts in negative numbers when I'm going backwards. Huh. I don't even know if I want to fix that. It's such a minor thing. All right. All right, engine off. Let's put ourselves off duty. And then detach. Man. All right, let's find our next one. I think we're down to 10. Top 10. Oh my gosh. In just 20 loads, look at what we've done. That's wild. So we are in Germany. Right here. And we're picking number, drum roll please, 13. And there's not 13, so try again. 8, 5, 6, 7. There's only 7. 11, no. 8, 6. Empty pallets going all the way almost to the Netherlands here. I think that's what we're gonna call it though. We'll come back to this, but I'm going to call it. And everyone watching, appreciate it. I'll be back later at some point, so don't stress too hard. We'll see you guys later on.